Guys, so we're going to learn all about chemistry, and it makes sense that we have to take a look at atoms. So this is just going to be a basic review of atoms and the most important things you guys should know, since I know you guys have covered this before. But pretty much in general, atoms are really important because they're the building blocks of not just chemistry, but life. So from the components that make up the screen of your computer to components in your eye, atoms play a huge role, right? Atoms make up everything. So that's why we really want to make sure that we get a good grasp of this topic, because then we'll be building on this as we learn more and more. So let's take a look at atomic structure first. So one thing I want you guys to know is where the different subatomic particles can be found. So neutrons and protons, those are both found inside the nucleus, okay? And the nucleus is the heavy and dense part of the atom. It's where all the mass of the atom is. We'll see that later on that these electrons that orbit around the nucleus have a negligible mass. So we're just going to ignore it for our purposes. The other thing to know is the charges of each of these particles. So protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons are neutral, or they don't have any charge. So this table is just going over some of the key things we just talked about. So the relative charges is something to pay attention to. And the other thing is the mass. So we don't have to memorize these mass numbers or anything like that. But all I wanted to show you guys was that protons and neutrons, they have a significant mass. Whereas when we look at the mass of an electron, it's so small. And we can tell that because of this 10 to the negative 4 exponent. So anytime you have a negative exponent, that's telling you that we have a really, really small number there. So we're just going to ignore the mass of the electron for this chemistry course, as you'll see your professors do as well. And so for our purposes, we'll only be considering the mass of the neutron and the proton. And we'll see that in calculation soon. So the last little thing I want us to go over is about chemical symbols and notation. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with the periodic table, where you've seen atoms written in the periodic table and shown this way. So we have oxygen as our symbol, and the mass number is shown at the bottom, and the atomic number is shown at the top. Now we can just rewrite that in a different way, where X represents our chemical symbol, Z is our atomic number, so 8 in this case, and A is our atomic mass, which is 15.999. And then the way that you'll see this most commonly being written in a textbook or by your professor on a test would be like this. So what's happening here is that the numbers are just flipped. So the atomic mass number was originally on the bottom in the periodic table, and now we're going to be writing that number at the top. So that's what we see here. And the atomic number was originally at the top in the periodic table, but when we write it, we're going to indicate that on the bottom. So how do I calculate the atomic mass number? So this equation is important to know because we'll use it for different calculations. So atomic mass number is equal to your protons and neutrons. And that's because remember that the electron's mass we don't care about for our purposes. So the mass of the atom is going to come from protons and neutrons. Then the atomic number, that's important because that tells us the number of protons, which you're going to see comes in handy for different problems.
Hey guys, my name is Jess, the head of education here at Wise. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you want to see the complete course, please check out the link in the description. You can also go to one of our playlists to keep learning for free. If you want us to cover a specific course or a specific topic, please leave us a comment below. We post new videos every week, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the new stuff.